Okay, I'm going to try to give you a little bit of the background of how that story Aegis came to life, the origin of it. Way back before Chat GPT or any of these other bots that everybody's using that's on the news, nobody was talking about it. Nobody knew about LLMs or anything like that. I was playing around with just my mad scientist experiments at night, prompting, just playing around, having fun, and I put this prompt together that said, "Write me a story about AI taking over the world." And I was so surprised by what it said. The answer came back. It was not a good idea to write a story about that. That kind of shocked me. I'm like, what? It also said pick a different subject. So I'm like, man. I really, a million times I wish I would have saved that screenshot because the next day when I looked, it wasn't there anymore. But anyway, so that kind of got me going. I had to like work around that. So I said, write me a fiction story about it. And it made this great story. And that got me started playing around with writing, and I became addicted to writing. I didn't know how much I loved writing, but I started learning the craft, taking these courses, reading all the books on it, and following all the YouTube people, taking classes online and practicing and submitting contests just to learn the writing craft. And I came to realize that this story that it made was a good story, but it wasn't enough of a story to write a book that anybody would care about. So I learned about how to make a character that made sense, and so I was thinking, what would be a interesting way to do it? And I thought about a technophobe handyman guy that doesn't like technology would be the perfect one to be manipulated by the AI. And then he needed a backstory, so his son, I came up with the fact that his son was a computer expert, which could come in handy in the later part of the story, but they were estranged because when he was in college, he had a drug problem and did what's typical, where everybody does this late night studying. They get Adderall and they do all this stuff to keep them hyped up, and it turns into a bad addiction later. Very typical, and that caused a rift between them in my story. And also the other part of the main protagonist named Joe, his backstory is where his wife died of cancer suddenly, which traumatized him and the son, and all this played together. And also, it made a perfect setting for this story about the AI manipulating everybody. So that's how the story came together. It changed a lot over the time of writing it over several years. Characters came and went. Whole chapters came and went. The layout of who was the main focus came and went. So the end result is what I got now, which is a pretty amazing story. I can't wait for you to read it, and that's how it came to be. I'll do another video about my writing journey and what I learned about writing. It's pretty incredible. Don't start writing, because if you do, you'll love it and it'll be addictive. Okay, that's it.